November 6th, 2025. Santa Cruz County, California. The ocean is calm tonight, but something in the air feels wrong. 35-year-old Danielle Staley steps out of her apartment for a short nighttime walk. She doesn't take her car. She doesn't tell anyone where she's going. She just disappears into the coastal fog. When the sun rises the next morning, something unsettling is found on Rio Del Mar Beach. A pile of neatly folded clothes, shoes placed gently beside them. No phone, no bug, no signs of a struggle. The sand around the clothes? Completely undisturbed. It's as if Danielle stepped out of her life and vanished. Police arrive within minutes. They expect shallow footprints, running tracks, drag marks, something. But the beach gives them nothing. Officers review tide charts. The ocean was low that night. No wave strong enough to pull someone silently. A puzzle begins to form, and at the center of it, Danielle's final message. Her last text to a friend reads, "Can we talk? Something feels off." And then, nothing. But this is where the story begins to twist, because Danielle was not alone near that beach. Multiple neighbors report seeing a figure in the fog, standing near the shoreline, completely still, watching the water. No one knows who he was. No one knows where he went. But multiple witnesses describe the same thing. A tall silhouette, no visible face, just a shape, staring into the ocean wind. Detectives start to realize Danielle didn't just walk away. Something led her into the darkness. Detectives canvass the shoreline. They expect to find one thing above all: footprints. But the sand around Danielle's clothes is smooth, too smooth, as if the beach had been wiped clean. A Marine deputy kneels down, brushes the surface with his glove, and notices something strange. There are footprints, but only moving toward the water, none leading back. It's like Danielle walked into the ocean, but never touched the water. A diver is sent into the waves. The water is crystal clear for nearly 20 feet. No rocks, no drop-offs, nothing to hide a body. But the diver reports something odd. The water suddenly gets warm, unnaturally warm. Warm ocean pockets. In November, at midnight. Detectives rule it environmental, but the diver insists. It felt like something was moving around me. Meanwhile, police turn their attention to the people closest to Danielle. Her boyfriend, Ryan Keller, a 37-year-old tech contractor. He claims he was home the entire night, and his phone confirms it. But something about him feels off. Detectives ask why he didn't report her missing sooner. Ryan answers, "Danielle took walks all the time. I thought she just needed air." Yet Danielle's friends disagree. They say she was anxious, quiet, distracted, like she was afraid of something. A co-worker reveals a chilling detail. "She told me someone was watching her." That someone, the shadow in the fog. Detectives now suspect a stalker, but there's no proof. No cameras on the beach. No witnesses who saw a chase. Only one person reports something useful. A fisherman who was out late that night. He says around midnight, he heard a woman shouting from the shoreline. Not screaming, not calling for help. Just calling a name. "Ryan? Ryan, is that you?" But the boyfriend swears he wasn't there. The fisherman claims he saw a shadowy figure near the rocks. Tall, unmoving, watching her. When he looked again, the figure was gone. Danielle's case has officially shifted. This is no longer a simple missing person report. It is turning into something much darker. Something planned. Something waiting. The days before she vanished, Danielle's friends noticed something deeply unsettling. She had been acting different, distracted, uneasy, as if she was watching something nobody else could see. Emily, one of her closest friends, said Danielle would suddenly go silent, as if she was listening to someone standing just behind her. She told them she felt like she was being followed, but when they asked who, she wouldn't answer. Instead, she whispered, "It's probably nothing. I just don't feel safe at night." What makes this even stranger? There was no stalker, no threats, no suspicious calls, nothing that pointed to danger. Yet Danielle's unease kept escalating, like she sensed something coming. Then, a neighbor reported something investigators had overlooked. A car, a dark SUV, parked outside Danielle's house multiple nights in a row. No plates on the front. Windows tinted darker than the law allows. The neighbor said, "It wasn't anyone from this street. It just sat there. No one ever saw who was inside." And when police canvassed the area, the SUV was gone. They never found it again. The night Danielle vanished, she left home at 11:45 p.m. No jacket, no bag, nothing but her clothes and her phone. Fog covered the beach, the kind where you can barely see a few feet ahead. A fisherman later reported hearing something near midnight. Not a scream, but not normal either. He assumed it was just people drinking. He didn't call police. Her phone stopped moving at exactly 11:58 p.m. Her final message, still on the screen, was never sent. "Can we talk? Something feels off." Experts say she was interrupted mid-typing. Then the phone vanished. No GPS ping, no power down signal. It simply disappeared. Search teams arrived before sunrise. The fog had only gotten thicker. Cold, silent, heavy. Officers scanned the shoreline. Nothing. No drag marks. No footprints. Just Danielle's clothes, folded too neatly to be accidental. Her shoes were pointed toward the ocean, but the sand in front of them, smooth, untouched, as if she stepped forward and never made the next footprint. Around 9 a.m., authorities deployed a drone, hoping for thermal signatures, movement, anything. The drone scanned the cliffs, the waterline, the rocky cover near the pier. Then, something appeared, a figure, standing near the water, perfectly still. At first, they thought it was Danielle, but when the drone moved closer, the figure didn't react, didn't turn, didn't move. It was tall, too tall, and completely gray in shape. The operator zoomed in, but the camera glitched. The figure vanished. No esplas, no footsteps, just gone. Ground teams moved to the exact location. There was nothing, no prints, no indentations, just a cold patch of sand, colder than the air around it. One rescue worker later told investigators, "I heard breathing, but no one was there." Divers entered the water by noon. Visibility was almost zero. A thick, milky haze lingered under the surface like stirred-up silt. They found something odd. The temperature dropped sharply around one section of water. A perfect circular area, but no body, no clothing, not even seaweed disturbance. Investigators returned to Danielle's home later that day. Her laptop was open. Her tabs? Hearing voices at night. Followed but no one there. Sleep paralysis shadows. And one final search query. Why do I feel watched near water? Detectives still have no explanation. Danielle didn't just disappear. Something led her into the fog. And whatever it was, it hasn't been seen since. Detectives decided to retrace Danielle's final walk. The shoreline was the same as the night she vanished. Quiet, too quiet. As they moved closer to the water, something strange happened. The wind dropped instantly. Every sound, waves, birds, footsteps, vanished. Then they heard it. A faint woman's voice, carried through the fog. "Help!" Another whisper followed. "Please!" Every detective froze. The voice wasn't coming from a beach. It was coming from the water. One officer shouted Danielle's name. No response, only breathing. They pushed forward, calling again. The breathing grew louder, closer, deeper. Then, the breathing stopped. The fog lifted. This was Whispers Unsolved. If you want more real, unsolved cases, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications. We bring you the truth the world forgets. I'll see you in the next mystery.